District of Kawa-ngware today, confronting rock-throwing protesters a day after violence caused a major fire, destroyed hundreds of businesses and saw homes and shops looted by men wielding sticks and machetes. It all started with a rumor that the Mungiki, a Kikuyu tribal militia, infiltrated Nairobi's Kawa-ngware slum. Within minutes, local men, already fired up by Kenya's divisive election, had grabbed machetes and sticks to defend their turf. By the end of last night's confrontation, a man had been beaten to death and rows of shops and homes set alight. The deeper fear of Kenyans is that the months of political strife, exacerbated by the courts annulling the August vote, eat away at deep tribal divisions and ignite a wave of inter-ethnic violence, as happened after a disputed 2007 vote when 1,200 people were killed. The Kawa-ngware fighting was sparked by rumors that Kikuyu, the tribe of President Uhuru Kenyatta, had drafted in members of the Mungiki to protect them from opposition supporters. It's unclear whether 4 counties in Western Kenya will be able to cast their vote in the country's presidential elections. The Electoral Commission has postponed indefinitely the repeat elections, which were scheduled for today. Now, the Electoral Commission in Kenya will announce tomorrow whether or not it will conduct elections in the 4 constituencies which have been plagued by violence. The Commission called off today's scheduled polls in these opposition strongholds where violent protests have led to at least 7 deaths. The rerun of the presidential polls follows a Supreme Court ruling nullifying the August 8th elections. We now go live to Kenya, where SABC reporter Aldrin Sampear joins us from the IEBC Tally Centre. Good evening, Aldrin. Now, what options are available to the IEBC considering the impasse that we've seen?
Good evening, Tabile. Yes, the IEBC in Kenya really finds itself in a very tight spot, considering that it has given these constituencies, these 4 constituencies, an opportunity to cast their ballot, which was supposed to have been today. However, though, due to the ongoing violence that took place on the day of the elections, as well as on the day after the elections, we heard from the IEBC chairperson, Chibokati, indicating that the IEBC officials were attacked and they were hijacked, and their homes were looted as well, and the homes were attacked as well, and for that reason they felt that it would not be safe to continue with the elections today. So the IEBC really finds itself in a tight position, and as you've indicated in that introduction, that the Chibukati has indicated that they will be making that announcement tomorrow, what they will do going forth. One of the first options is, of course, that they can try and force the elections to take place in these areas, but one of those areas that we were at for today, for instance, Kisumu, an area west of the country, where it is really volatile, very tense, and we've seen the debris still strewn across the roads, an indication of the violent protests that had been taking place, and the residents in that area are quite clear. And you must remember that this is an area that Raila Odinga, the opposition leader comes from, the NASA leader comes from, and he's indicated that people should stay away from these polls that he has termed a sham. The other option that the IEBC has is to just make the announcement of these elections and explain that they have tried to give an opportunity to these people in these different counties. However, the environment was not conducive. There's also at least 2 court applications that have been made at the High Court, at the Supreme Court rather. One of those court cases is to interdict Chibukati from making the announcement of who has won these elections, while on the other hand there's also a counter interdict or counter application to make sure that Chibukati makes the announcement, and this is an application made by a Jubilee MP who makes the argument that although the Constitution of Kenya says that when the chairperson makes the announcement of the results, he must include all 290 constituencies, the environment has not been conducive to do that. So those are some of the options that are available to the IEBC as it stands.
Now, Aldrin, in terms of the constituencies that we speak of and where we're waiting to find out if they're going to open, what does that mean for the voter turnout that we saw at less than 35%?
Actually, just quickly going to glance to the telecenter, the board that's beaming the results that are currently out. That board indicates that the turnout has actually increased as it stands at the moment. The turnout standing at 47.5%, also indicating that the number of registered voters is at 19.6%. But of those, out of the different counties that are here in this country, 291, only 148 have reported back on the results that they have at the moment. And the results as they stand indicate that Uhuru Kenyatta is still in the lead with 98.5%, while Raila Odinga is trailing just behind him at less than 1% of the vote, at 0.8% of the vote. And as I've indicated before, that people might be wondering why, for instance, we have different results as well. The IEBC has made sure, they've made the argument that they will only beam the results as it stands, the results indicating that Uhuru Kenyatta is leading by 5 million votes. They've said that they'll only beam the results once they have been verified, and it has been a tedious process. However, though, from the provisional results that have been indicated before, those results indicate, unverified results indicate that Uhuru Kenyatta leads by 7 million. But of course, Uhuru Kenyatta, well, the IEBC will make the final announcement with regards to the results that they have received so far, and they've been doing that over the course of the 2 days that have been passing so far.
Aldrin, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for that update. That was our reporter Aldrin Sampear joining us.